Hi everyone, and welcome back to Self-Love Sanctuary. I'm Tahina.
And I'm Yane.
And today's topic is going to be understanding leaps of faith. What does that look like for you?
I've taken many leaps of faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the main one was taking that leap of faith into entrepreneurship.
Which is not easy.
Not at all.
No. I mean, it takes a lot to start new and be aware of judgment and all. And all the blockages that we put in our life. And
What would you say your biggest leap of faith has been so far?
I feel like I'm so calculated. So this topic is a little hard for me, but for me, one of the two biggest leaps of faith that I've had recently was starting the podcast. So putting myself out there.
Yes.
I'm so private that this was like a cracking myself open and talking to the internet, talking to people. It's not easy for me. And also like starting a relationship after something so traumatic in life, like a traumatic ending in another relationship, and then being able to trust myself and start another relationship was a big leap of faith for me, at least just to hit surface level.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk to them about what a leap of faith is exactly. So first of all, it's definitely stepping into the unknown,
Which
of
is
what's
not
on
easy.
the other side of taking that risk. I feel like that's the biggest thing of taking a leap of faith. It's just not knowing if it can go good or if it can go bad.
Yeah, but I think that's for everything. You never know. And I feel like a lot of us will put so much pressure on a leap of faith. Like, I feel like if you're afraid of it, it's probably because that's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
We're usually afraid of the good things, right? People will say fears come from like scary things, but usually the scary things are the light.
Yes.
The door opening to
Yes.
another chapter in our life, another journey. So I think trusting the process is a big one.
Yes.
Trust the process, trust yourself. Really, I'm very calculated. So, pros and cons, and also follow your heart, which is hard.
Yes. Follow your heart and just trust that life will guide you exactly where you're meant to go.
I feel like you'll
that's
always
huge.
end up in the right path.
Yes.
And sometimes we can end up on the wrong path based on our decisions. But if you are wanting to start something new and you're feeling very called for it, then I
Yes.
feel like you should.
Whether that's starting a new relationship, whether it's starting a new career, or pursuing a passion, which that is so difficult because sometimes you're like, well, is this passion enough to take that risk? But it's trusting that. It's just trusting that.
I mean, for us, it was that. We trusted our passion and our intuition. We trusted it and we just went for it. And I feel like you need to take accountability and also take charge of your life when wanting to do a leap of faith.
Yes.
So,
Which is where we go into overcoming your fears.
Oh. I feel like
Fears of failure.
That's common.
That's common in everything. Because we're all so afraid of failing.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you realize, and also you realize once you go through the journey too, it's like, without failing, how do you grow?
There's no way to learn either.
And how do you learn? Because I had to fail bad before I actually learned.
What was one of your failures?
It was taking the risk to open the business and then realizing that was not working out as I planned or I imagined.
Yeah, like the
so
compatibility.
I had to fail, and I had to see that it wasn't going the ways that I kind of like
envisioned
or envisioned in my mind. And then, I closed that chapter, but I only learned what I did want.
Yeah.
For the next leap of faith that I was going to take. That's what prepared me. Because if I would have never gone through that, and I would have never failed, and I would have never seen all the things that I didn't want in my business, I would have never known what I did want.
Yes. So it was like a learning.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah. And I think that every leap of faith is a learning experience, whether it is, going into the unknown, starting something new, putting yourself out there, going out, doing things that are uncomfortable. I think that we have to do these things in order to grow in life. If not, we're going to be stagnant.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be in the same cycle and then wonder, 5 years down the road, why am I still here? Why am I at this job? You know, because I feel like a lot of the overcoming fears is also not believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Not believing that you're enough.
Yes.
To really make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we have dreams. I feel like every single person on this earth has dreams. Yes. A lot of them are unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I say this in air quotes for the people who aren't watching. I feel like my dreams are very realistic. Sometimes when I was younger, I felt like they were extravagant compared to everybody. But I knew something deep inside of me that told me I was made for more. And I trust that, and I've always trusted that. And I've always said it, no matter what, my vision boards look crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, because that's what I feel that is true to me and my soul. So I feel like everybody needs to step into that and know what you're really worth. Don't limit yourself. And I've had conversations with people who limit themselves and are like, well, this is where I'm going to be in this job. Well, if you want to be something else, why don't you be it? And then they'll talk about wanting to be, no, but I can't do that.
But you can. And that's why me and you are so big on like following our intuition. Yeah. It never fails you. Like, you have to tap into it. Whether you believe in it or you don't,
there's something guiding us.
You feel it. There's always something guiding you that you know when you are making the wrong decision.
Yeah. Or have you been driving once and then you're like, I'm going to make a left turn instead of a right. And then for some reason you're like, I'm going to make this left. And then you didn't know if you just avoided something tragic in your life just by following I'm going to make a right. Or sometimes we're on autopilot and we go somewhere else and it's like we were meant to be in that, you know, in that space or whatever. So I feel like you have to follow yourself. We know an internal clock. You know what's kind of guiding you, and you know when someone's not good for you. Like, have you ever gotten that bad feeling when you're around someone and you're like hairs in your neck stand up and you're like, this person's not good? If you don't believe in that, then what is that? How would you explain that to someone? Like, if you don't believe in intuition, or why is my body having this adverse reaction to someone's energy or someone's presence, right? If we don't want to be super spiritual, or why do I feel this way? And this is just surface level presence. I'm saying, what about when you're making a decision that's detrimental for your life? What about then? You know, like, you know, when you're like, okay, should I start working at this, you know, startup company that, you know, has not many offers, but I feel called for it? Or do I stay at this job that I'm miserable going to work every day? I'm angry on my way to work. I'm screaming at people on the road. I'm pissed off when I get there. I hate the look of my boss. Like, or am I going to take this huge leap of faith with this startup company that, you know, it's also a risk. We're adults now. We're not kids. We can't just be like, you know what? Let me just quit my job. No. You also have to be, I'm also very logical. So this is where I battle with leaps of faith.
That's where we're different. Because I've always been one to always go against the grain. Yeah. Like, I am that person that if you tell me you can't, or that is not possible, or you're going to fail, or just take another turn, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. You're like,
I always find a way. Like, if I feel it in my gut that it's a right decision. When I was in my journey, I've had so many people like, no, don't do that. Like, go work at an office, go get paid, you know, get your paycheck. Like, you're going to live day to day. You're going to fail. You're going to get in debt. You're going to get out of it. And I'm like, but that's the beauty in it. Because when you take a leap of faith, it's not just like what you're having in the moment, because you decision for your future. Yes, I can go and work at an office where I'm going to get a heavy paycheck, but I know I'm going to be stuck in that office till I decide to quit that job.
You reach the top.
Versus you put in the work, you fail, but you know that you're working for a better future where you're in control of your own time.
And what we all look for in life is financial freedom and time freedom. We want to be able to enjoy our lives. So I think that taking these leaps of faith, trusting yourself. I'm not saying quit your job when you have nothing in savings. I'm saying work while you're working. Strive for the things that you want to strive for, and then stop putting limits on yourself. And also, one thing we were talking while we went on a little errand, Yana and I, was people's opinions and how hard we let them dictate us. And we're talking on a small scale where I had let somebody's opinion get to me
on a leap of faith that you wanted to take.
Exactly. When it had nothing to do with them, but everything to do with my personal life. And it's just so important to disassociate yourself from opinions, and as at the end of the day, look at your actions and the actions that are being proven in this leap of faith, right? And also, not everybody's opinion fits, you know? I feel like not all of it is needed. Mm-mm. And I appreciate people's opinions, but sometimes you just don't, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary when you know what you want.
Exactly.
And when you want something, no one but you is going to go out and get it. So
yeah,
people may have the different opinions, and they probably tell you, no, you shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. But because they're not willing to put in the work that it takes.
And they can't see it.
To take a leap of faith.
Mm-hmm. That's another one.
For success.
They can't see it. And then you think about it, all these, you know, big time millionaires, no one believed in them. Like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, no one believed in him. And he still went for it. And Elon Musk and all amongst the million of millionaires.
That because you have like the courage to do it, mm-hmm. and because you have the strength to do it, and you're brave enough to do it, it doesn't mean that you're not scared.
No.
Because I promise you that you see me so confident and like brave, ready to face everything. Mm-hmm. But I'm fucking scared. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I'm like, oh my fucking God, like, what if this just all goes wrong, you know? But like, you know, like, you might fail, but you're gonna get right back up, and it's just having that strength to know, like, okay, I just have to get back up, and I have to try again. It's all about how many times you can pick yourself up
and try again,
and
learn from, because you can pick yourself up, try it again, but then you gotta also learn from, okay, where did I go wrong here, and how can I learn from that, and not in a negative way, more so like, I tried that door, it didn't work. Let me try this door and see how that works for me. And you know, you just go building, and you go learning, and you just go making that leap of faith better, and making your decisions better, and that path. You start paving it in a better direction. Of course, every little brick that you put down is going to make a different type of road, but it'll lead you ultimately to where you're meant to be at your heart, you know? And how do you advise someone to take a leap of faith when they don't? Like someone like me, who's very logical, who, you know, I do believe in leaps of faith, but I'm like, is it the right decision? Like strategically, what am I going to do? Like, how would you tell somebody to get out of their own way?
Trusting yourself that you will make the best decision for you. Mm-hmm. Also knowing, like I said, what do you really want? And how is making that decision, how is that going to affect what you want? Like, is it going to be a pro or is it going to be a con? Like, to me, it was just always lay out the pros and cons.
Yeah.
It's usually all pros.
And it's good for our brain to also see it, like, the pros and the cons, because then you can understand it from a different perspective than all the jumble in your brain. You can actually see it in paper or in your phone or whatever, and actually see it in a different light.
And what I would say, too, is that I feel a lot of people who hold themselves back from taking that leap, because I feel like I did that for a very long time, it's because I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself.
Yes.
You know, I was always doubting myself. I was like, are you strong enough? Are you smart enough?
Yeah.
You know, it was all things that were coming from within, but like in a negative way. You know, but then I learned that you could build your own confidence through the journey, just taking those small steps in trusting yourself, and that you see that, wow, you know what, like I did make a good decision. It ended up working out. So that helps you also build that confidence, and knowing that it's honestly a learning process. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna take the leap of faith and it's all going to work out. It's not. It's a journey. It's a journey, and you just, like I said, you have to be very strong.
I think that also accepting and understanding that everybody's path is gonna look different. So even if yours is one way and you're going about it one way, it's also accepting the little wins. So like seeing beauty in the progress. So like, let me be grateful in this leap of faith. Like, you know, ours, for example, like one more follower, woohoo, like one more client, like, or one more business opportunity, or whatever it is that the leap of faith that you're taking, just find the little wins when they're there, because then that also boosts your confidence, because then you start to be like, let me pat myself on the back. I did pretty good then, you know, and rather than just like, oh man, I'm not doing too good. Was this the right choice for me? And then that's just changing your mindset, seeing things in a different light. Also, like I said, bringing and opening yourself up to more good things. You know, negative loops happen fast. Positives take time, but once they come rushing in, and it's like beautiful, you know, and that's the reward that you get for believing in yourself and taking that leap of faith. you know? What about power and belief? There's power in that.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of power in believing.
And believing in yourself.
And believing in yourself, and believing in your decisions, literally believing in everything. There's so much power in believing. Because if you believe that you can't,
you're not going to be able to.
You're not going to be able to, because you're literally blocking yourself from taking that risk. You really have to believe in yourself, in your decisions, in your intuition.
Yes.
And everything. And also, don't compare yourself.
No.
Believe in yourself. Forget about everybody else around you. Forget about all the other people that have taken that leap. Believe in you.
Yeah.
You
comparison
have to believe,
is what is, how do they call it? Comparison
is a thief of joy.
The comparison is the thief of joy.
And it really is.
And it really is.
And it really is, because like people may look at me and tell me, okay, yeah, but it's taking you like almost 13 years in your career to get to where you wanted. And yes, if I would have been comparing myself to others and people that I know that have literally been in the industry for 2 years and are like, boom, skyrocketing, I would literally be drowning and not believing in myself, zero confidence. But I told myself, your journey is different from everybody else.
And you're unique.
And I'm unique, and I'd rather it take me
and you bring different things that everybody else does.
But I have grown so much.
Yeah.
In the 13 years of my career and all the leaps of faith that I've taken, not just in my career, but in my personal life too, that I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to happen overnight, because if it happened overnight for me, or I had someone that was helping me through my leap of journey to make it easier for me, I would have never learned as much as I've learned till this day.
And you wouldn't have appreciated yourself more either, you know?
Because I know that where I'm at, I have no one to thank.
But yourself.
But myself.
And your hard work. And you believing in yourself.
Believing in myself when absolutely nobody else would believe in me.
Exactly. And that includes family, because our family sometimes like won't believe in us either, and that's the one that hurts. Or like our partners or your friends.
And sometimes it's not so much really that they don't believe in you.
It's just they can't see the vision.
It's just like they're people who also live with fear.
Yes.
Of failing.
Yes.
So when they're seeing you literally risking it all, because, you know, like when I took my risk to my business, I literally stayed with $0 to my name. When I tell you that I risked it all, and obviously I look back now and I'm like, bitch, that's not how you do things.
Yeah.
You know, but I look back now, I literally drained my bank account to take that leap.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody around me is like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna have to back you up? And to me, it was just like, oh, I'll figure it out, because that's my thing, and you know, that everybody's like, how do you do it? I just figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know how I figure it out, but I always figure it out.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's, to me, you ask me like, how do you figure it out? Faith.
Yeah.
Faith and believing in myself.
Yeah, and that's the appropriate way to do it. I mean, obviously, there's being just staying in tune, making sure you're making the right decisions for you and your family, for yourself, and obviously, she started her entrepreneurship and her whole business, and she really did, and she's doing good. She's happy. She has great clients. You really are happy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And just imagine if you would have listened to everybody else and stuck to that office job.
I actually think about that all the time. I think about it all the time. I'm like, what? Like, can you even imagine me working at an office?
No.
I look back and I'm like, oh my God.
All your creativity would have been dimmed.
And it's not just about taking that leap of faith in your career, because there's literally so many leaps of faith that you can take, whether it's like recently, I've had so many of my clients just literally move across the country from one day to the other. Say, you know what? I want to start a new life. And I'm like, oh my God, you're going to do it. And mind you, they were scared. Yeah. Shitless. Especially because they have small kids. They're really moving to another state where you have all the seasons. There's winter. Like, you're introducing the kids to, like, literally the kids are leaving all their friends. They're literally just leaving it all here and moving across the country. And I actually spoke to them recently because they came down. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how has it been going? Like, how are you guys adjusting? And literally it was like, it was the best decision that we ever made. And I'm like, and the kids? Because obviously that's always like the biggest worry for us moms, is how are the kids going to adjust? Yeah. And it was like, they're thriving. Yeah. So sometimes, like, no matter how scared you are to just literally change your life,
there's beauty in redirection.
There's beauty in redirection.
Yeah. And that's all there is. And I mean, also embrace your uncertainty. Embrace it. You won't, like, I feel like everybody, especially me, I want to know what each decision of mine
you want to know what's the ending.
Yeah, I want like immediate gratification. I want immediate what's gonna happen when I make a decision. And it's like the Virgo in me can't I can't help it. I'll get like that. But I realize that you just have to weigh your pros and cons, like we said. Seek advice when you can't. Like seek advice from people that you want to like where you want to be. Like
yeah, like seek advice. Like you said, people that are where you want to be or higher.
Yes, always higher.
I was always so afraid too to surround myself with people that were higher than me because I felt like a little intimidated.
Yes.
But I remember this one person gave me that advice and she told me, she's like, you have to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be or higher,
yes.
Because they will support you, they will encourage you, and they will let you know like you can be on this side.
Yes. And if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Wrong room.
And people usually get intimidated by being in a room where you're the like not the dumbest. I hate to even say that anybody's
I was
dumb.
just gonna say I always felt like the dumbest one
like,
in the room.
Just you don't feel like at their level.
Like, yes.
But you get to learn so much from people that you don't feel like at their level. You can learn, techniques, networking. Understanding what they do, what their routines look like. You can learn so much from people who are, smarter or just have more knowledge, more experience, more in business or whatever it is that you want to really be at. And I think that people just need to stop putting a negative connotation and see the beauty that it is to not be the brightest in the room.
Yes.
You'll be the smartest learning.
Yes.
And then once you reach the same level, move on to another room where you're not the smartest or whatever you want to call it, where you don't feel like you're at that level, and then you're just going to continue to grow rather than seeing it at, oh my God, I'm the dumbest in the room. No.
I would literally see it before, like, oh my God, like I'm literally the one with the least knowledge in this room. But then I was like, you know what? I'm learning to appreciate that because you literally learn, and then you also know like these people where I'm at.
Yeah. One day. They were.
One day.
Yeah.
So that will be me. And like you said, and then I will sit in another room where there's people with even more knowledge than me.
Yes. And that's the beauty of it. I mean, you gotta know that there's always reward in growing, in the growing pains. Understanding that there's always gonna be new opportunities if you're looking for them, if you're open to them. It's just redefining your future for me. It's just understanding that nothing is really cut and dry. And I think that's hard for people who are extremely logical to be like, not everything is going to be picture perfect, black and white.
Right.
Life is going to just ebb and flow. And you just have to ride it and then go with your heart. And it's not all woo-woo. It's really understanding that we're here for a short time in life. We don't know when our last day on earth is. And I think that this always brings me back to removing myself from the logical side of myself and reminding myself that life is so short. We don't know when the last day on earth is, and I just want to make sure that I'm living my life to my full potential every day, and I'm also being in my full potential as well. Like, where can I be better? What do I want to do? I wanted to start a podcast. We started a podcast against all odds, against are you guys gonna start a podcast? Will you guys have so many topics? Like all the things that we heard in the background. And then that we didn't even listen to that. We listened to the good. Everybody was more excited than we were. We were like, oh my God, we're excited. And then all of our people around us were even more excited.
And they saw the vision.
They saw the vision. And even when we let out our first one,
my gosh. Yes.
This is a good explanation of a leap of faith. We recorded our first episode, and me and Yana thought it was good. The moment we recorded it, once we went home,
we were like, "Oh my God,
that was not good.
Can I go back right now?"
Yeah, can I go back right now? Re-record. We ended up showing our the people we chose to give us the right that we knew
hardcore transparent advice,
and they were like, "No, to the potential that you guys can be at and are at, this is not good. Re-record."
And why? Because we were so afraid to just be ourselves. Because we know, we're going to have a little fuck it over here. And, it's not going to be here, robot. And we were trying to be so not perfect, but, just...
Very demure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And, they were like, all you guys need to do is be yourselves. And just
authentic.
Speak on your stories. Be authentic, like you say. And people will love you for that. And, people that love you will be watching you and supporting you. And the ones that don't, then they can go and find another podcast. You know? But like, be you.
Be you.
And it's true. We were so nervous. You know, and now we sit here and we're like, we have our drink.
Yeah,
you know,
we're
like,
excited.
You know, just ready to get on here and just like really connect with you guys and like share our stories. You know?
And that we're embracing our journey, you know?
And we really wanted to do this episode, especially, you know, getting towards the end of the year.
Yes.
You know, just a reminder. Oh my God. But just a reminder to believe in yourself. Like I said, whether that's like any decision that you are afraid to make, whether it's starting a business, like we said, you know, a new relationship, ending a relationship, moving across the country, starting a new life, like that can go so many ways. Because for me, it wasn't just the business. Where it really started for me was making a decision to be a single mother. And I say making a decision because I did make that decision.
Yeah.
Because I knew that if I kept my son, I was going to be a single mother since my pregnancy. So that was my choice. And had that fear of like, oh my God, like, you know, how is it going to be raising a kid on my own, you know, as a single mom, especially having those traumas that we spoke about before. Like, it was just that fear of failing him, you know, or like him not being proud of me as his mom, you know. And it's just like, I look at it now and I'm just like, and then God blessed me with a beautiful family.
Yeah, they are. And
my life literally changed. Yes.
I just added myself in there. No, but her life did, and it's beautiful. I love to see her happy, and that's all I care about, you know, that you're happy, and that those leaps of faith have gotten you here. You're able to take care of your kids and, you know, also enjoy time with them and be there for them. And then they also get to see how hard working you are, which is very important. You know, I saw my mom being a very hard worker, and that's why I'm a hard worker.
Which is, I literally tell that to my kids every day, especially my oldest, that he obviously understands more. My little one is not there yet.
Yeah.
But my oldest one, I tell him all the time, I'm like, you can be anything that you want to be in this world. And whatever that is that you want to be, whether it's an athlete, a dancer, a singer, an artist, whatever you want to be.
You can be.
You can be, but you have to give it 120%, and you need to know that it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to put in the work.
Absolutely.
And know what you want for your future.
Yeah, and then, you know, just create a supportive community. Like, make sure that the people around you are supporting you.
Yes.
And guiding you, and also being honest. I do appreciate honesty as well. Like, I want you to catch me on my shit. If I'm being extremely negative and I'm not seeing my light, I want you to tell me, yo, you're dimming your light. Because majority of the people who are jealous of you or who really love you can see your potential.
Yeah.
And your friends are the people who really love you are going to see your potential and are going to see you. I've had friends tell me, like, you're dimming your potential and you don't see how great you are. And
I've had that all the time.
You know, and then you have the other ones that are like, you know, a little jealous and, you know, are going to let you drown. But as to like creating a good supportive community, because Yana will tell me when I'm not seeing my potential, and I'll tell her too, where I'm like doubting myself, and she reminds me, you know, how great I am. And I'm like, man, I am really great. And you're really great, you know. I think another little homework I want to give our audience is what your leap of faith for this year. Do not put so much strength on, you know, 2025, because we're all going to get stressed about it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, just if you're going to go to the gym, go to the gym. Give yourself little goals. Don't set these hard, unachievable goals. Sit down one night, have a vision board. Ask yourself, what do you really want your life to look like?
A perfect way to start. That's actually a perfect way to start.
To envision what you really want.
Envision what you really want in life. Like, do you want to sit, and if it's fine, there's people that are okay with working at an office and working 9 to 5 and working with someone else. There's people that are completely content.
They're happy with
that. But in the sense of like, sit down and see like, what would you change about your life?
Yeah, in a positive way.
In a positive way. Like, what is one thing that you wish you weren't so afraid to do?
Yes. And in that same beat, ensure that you're grateful for where you're at in the moment. Because then you might feel a little ungrateful for a little bit of homework that I want everybody to just take on with them is, what is your leap of faith for this year? What is something that you're going to try new? Whether it's going to a new class and meeting new people, whether it's, you know, starting a vision board, because a lot of people are against it. I didn't know that a lot of people did not like to do it. I had some great, like, gratitude lists. Make a little gratitude list and just remind yourself to be grateful. I'd say also, you know, create to boost your confidence. I would say some affirmations, you know, working on yourself, you know, giving yourself some love, and grace, but also pushing yourself to be better. I'd also say that make sure that you truly believe in yourself. And if you're not someone who can do a vision board, write something down. Write something for what you want for this year. And, just say whether it's, I want to eat better this year. I want to add more veggies into my life, or I want to add more fruits, skin, for whatever it is, or, I want to find a better job. How can you improve your skills?
Or you want to go back to school.
Yeah. How can I better my skills and become an asset? And take that leap of faith into applying to a new job, or starting my own business, or dropping a podcast, starting a YouTube, whatever it is.
Pursuing your passions. That's what it is. That's like where you take the most leap of faith, is pursuing
vision boards, list, gratitude, affirmations, spending time with yourself, and really asking yourself, what is a leap of faith that I want to take this year? Whether it's meeting new people, dating, whatever it is to you, just take a second before we enter 2025 and really just look a little deeper and ask yourself the question with no, I wouldn't say not contingencies, but with no pressure. Just see what comes to you first. Whether it's I want to get out of debt, whatever it is, just follow your heart, go through it lightly, and then don't add so many specifications to it. Don't make it so intricate, because usually what comes first is usually what we need to follow.
Yes.
So I feel like that's a little bit of homework that I want to leave you guys with. And, just continue to feel yourself, understand what it is that you want, and believe in yourself. I believe in you. You got this. You can do this.
You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah. So to end the episode on this week's words of wisdom, if you want to fly, you have to give up the things that weigh you down. Toni Morrison. A reminder that taking leaps requires shedding old fears, doubts, or baggage. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Self-Love Sanctuary. We love you guys so much.
And remember to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and leave us a review so more people can find us in our community.
Yeah, we can't wait to catch you on the next one.
And a little food for thought to leave you guys today. What would you attempt to do if you knew that you could not fail?